WESSLIN with you. Le metal. I love the metal. Welcome to the first episode of WESSLIN with you. We're going to talk about wrestling, and not with that terrible Elmer Fudd impression for the entire episode. You'll be glad to know. We're going to just review wrestling on this episode. We're going to book wrestling episodes on a different show. And yeah, let's get this channel up and going. So for the first episode of WESSLIN with you, I'm going to talk about last week's episodes of Lucha Underground and NXT. I'm going to start off with NXT. NXT opened up with a match between Carmella and Alexa Bliss. The one thing that they're really focusing on between these two is how much Alexa has been progressing as a heel. She's gone from this sparkly, bubbly little, almost green in the ring babyface to this badass bitch that, man, if this is one of those times where you wish that WWE would let PG become PG-13 at the very least, because Alexa has that glare, and I feel like that attitude to be, you know, just the smack-talking, hard-hitting, just vicious bitch that just literally cutthroat almost. She does this cool takedown where she uses, not obviously the glove, but she just does some sort of like judo takedown to set up for her Twisted Bliss, as Tom Phillips would go on to call it, which I'll get to him in a second. He actually did a really nice job in this episode. But Alexa has come a very long way, and this was a really good match, actually, between her and Carmella. Carmella is also... This is actually a really nice story between both of the wrestlers, because they've both been on, not the same journey, but they've both been on a journey towards being one of the most prolific divas next to Bayley, because honestly, ever since Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky got called up, there really hasn't been a whole lot of depth. There has been talent with Bayley, and then, you know, obviously Dana and Emma got drafted, so now that the women's division in NXT is kind of run thin, save for the few women that they're, you know, training up slowly, like, I think it was JP Morgan, or Liv Morgan, fuck it. Anyways, aside from those trainees that they've got coming up, they really don't have a whole lot. So I feel like Alexa and Carmella, you've got the yin and yang, the future of what they can do with their heels and the future of what they can do with their faces as far as characters go. Either way, really good match as far as wrestling goes. There's a lot of really, not intense, but very good spots where Alexa had control, and Carmella has that athletic ability that's going to be the perfect for her babyface character, where she can, you know, mount comebacks. She has this really cool move where she does the handstand leg takedown from someone that's standing on the top turnbuckle that could really work out. Her finisher is really great, but Alexa gets the win here with the Twisted Bliss splash. Looks really good. I don't know if they're going to give her the belt over Asuka. I feel like the only way for that to happen would be to have Alexa have some sort of alliance with Nia Jax, but Nia Jax obviously wants the belt, and I'm not going to get into booking. That match did not go more than 10 minutes, so really, really decent showing from both ladies. Next, you had the announcement that there were going to be exclusive comments from Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor. Then there was unfortunately no Ty Dillinger on this episode. That's the one thing that I would have to, you know, keep from giving it a 10. No pun intended. No pun intended. Next you had backstage interview between Bayley and, what is the girl? Kathy Kelly is her name. God, I'm going to have to learn these names. Between Kathy Kelly and Bayley. Kelly asks Bayley how she's feeling now that she's getting a comeback, and now that she's back, is she going to get her title back? Bayley obviously says yes, she can't wait to get the opportunity. Bliss comes in, interrupts her, says that that's not going to happen, and is going to beat Bayley next week to prove that she's going to be the next in line to get the championship, so that's going to be interesting. I don't see Alexa winning. I think this is a really nice build for Alexa, but I don't necessarily see her beating Bayley. I think that they're going to have Bayley, they're obviously going to have Bayley and Asuka with a rematch, because she still needs a rematch. But I don't know when they're going to have Alexa go for the title, but they will. Alexa's going to have her chance. Next, Andrade Cien Almas versus Noah Pochies. I think I said his name right. And this guy Noah, I actually really like him. He has a way that he carries himself that you'd think somebody like Vince and the guys in the back would like, because he's got a size to him. And he definitely has some expression to him with his facial characteristics and everything. He doesn't have just a stone face. He's very expressive, and I think that this is one of those guys that they can mold into something special. But Andrade gets the win here, obviously. He's not too over with the fans. I don't hate him personally, but he's just, another luchador that's in NXT instead of WWE. So it's going to be a matter of time to see what they do with him as far as character goes, because this whole episode seemed to be all about character and character development, which is what you want in a developmental brand, even though, technically it's better than Raw. Moving on, we had Andrea DeMarco interviewing Austin Aries to explain why he attacked No Way Jose last week after a dance-off. Well, not dance-off, but dancing together and having fun. Austin said he blames the fans for not appreciating him and cheering someone who hasn't done a fraction of what he's done in his entire career in this business. And from here on out, everything A Double does is the fans' fault. So this is going to be a way for Austin to get more of a heel reaction, which may end up having him get cheers anyway and have people chanting his name. It's Austin Aries. He's fantastic. So that'll be good, because he's going to start to get a bit of a build to get some momentum to go after the NXT title, because I think that's going to be him and Shinsuke having a rematch. Then we had the Bayley-Alexa Bliss match announced. Then you had the main event, which I can't believe I'm saying this was the main event of NXT. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Hype Bros, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley. They had a really, really good match, and that's not, again, I don't say that surprisingly as a knock on him, but the Hype Brothers haven't really been given a chance to do their thing in the ring, because you've got the workhorse Zack Ryder, and then you've got the power guy for the hot tag, Mojo Rawley. Whereas with Gargano and Ciampa, Ciampa's more of a submission guy, where Gargano is all around. He's a fantastic wrestler, performer. He can do the high spots. He can beat you with his technical prowess, all that good shit. Love you, Johnny Wrestling. This match went about 10-15 minutes, and Gargano and Ciampa get the win with their, I think Tom Phillips called it Meet Ya in the Middle, which is actually a really, really cool name for it. Simple, and it's really effective. Then Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, gets a microphone saying that their recent win, and this win tonight, puts them in line to face the Revival. But then American Alpha come out, they say that, they haven't gotten their rematch, so they're not first in line for anything, and if they do have a shot at the title, it'll be when they get their belts back. That's great. And then Jason Jordan obviously acknowledges that they need to get their revenge against the Authors of Pain. So then, the Revival come out, and I've grown to love these guys. I really didn't think that they were going to be anything at first, but the Revival have been very, very, very impressive with being, first of all, the first ever two-time champions in NXT, which is really, really prestigious for them, I feel like. It's really says something from the company to put that on them. So they call Gargano and Ciampa Garganzo and Chimpy, and I thought that was a little, I didn't expect it. These guys are pretty funny, and they fit the PG mold decently, and not trying too hard. William Regal comes out, he books the match between the Revival and American Alpha, says that's what's going to happen, and that when the time comes, Gargano, goddamn, fuck my language, and Ciampa will be given an opportunity. That's when the Authors of Pain come out. They beat the shit out of American Alpha. Gargano and Ciampa try to come and do the save, but they get obliterated before they can even Gargano gets in the ring, but he gets tossed out hard on the floor. Gable leaps onto one of the Authors of Pain to no avail. Jason Jordan suplexes one of them and gets a huge pop from the crowd. That was awesome. They end up recovering, taking out Gable, then Jordan with their leg sweep and clothesline finisher. Not sure what they're calling it yet. I think Tom was 3 for 3 as far as naming finishers, calling it the Line of Fire or something like that, which wouldn't be a bad name. Out comes Paul Ellering, summons them back to the stage, and they walk out, and the show ends. Overall, really decent show. The comments from Shinsuke and Finn were just about the match and facing each other and their history. Shinsuke says that he promises something spectacular, or sensational. And I don't doubt it. I think it's going to be a fucking fantastic match. Then you've got the Revival on American Alpha. You've got Alexa and Bayley next week to lead up to Bayley and Asuka, I think. So it's going to be a really nice build for their next show. Smack. Next, we got Lucha Underground. This was a very interesting episode, and there was something that happened at the end that really made me laugh. If you're a WWE fan, you'll probably understand where I'm talking about. So the show opens with Matt Striker and Vampiro welcoming the audience, and the first match of the night is going to be King Cuerno versus Mil Muertes as a sort of grudge match over their last feud. But they're building up to their main show of the year, Ultima Lucha. This is only their second one. And this match between King Cuerno and Mil Muertes is going to lead to a match at Ultima Lucha. King Cuerno, after a very brutal match for 4 minutes with Mil, gets a sneak roll-up pin using his arm and leg to hold himself against the ropes. Sneak pins him, gets the 3 count. After the match, we had a backstage segment between El Jefe, Dario Cueto, and Taya and Ivelisse. Now, background between these two, Taya and Ivelisse are 2 women who have had a storied rivalry with each other that dates back before Lucha Underground. It's been in AAA, I believe. I could be wrong. Fact check me and correct me, please. And they've carried that feud into Lucha Underground, and it's going to have its first huge match at Ultima Lucha Dos, and just who's going to be the toughest woman in Lucha Underground. I wish that they would give it like some sort of women's title, but maybe they feel like, and both genders are deserving of the main title. I don't know. Either way, it would fit. It would add more prestige and expansion to the brand and the company and the locker room and everything, but you never know. This match gets booked in this very segment where Dario says that Ivelisse, you are the baddest bitch in the building, and Ty is the complete opposite. They're 2 different ends of the spectrum, and they're going to settle it at Ultima Lucha Dos. Taya leaves first, very, very suggestively, catching Dario's eye. Ivelisse slams down her shooter glass and leaves as well, before she sees Katrina in the doorway, and Ivelisse tells Katrina, don't think I forgot about you. Walks out. Katrina goes to Dario Cueto and says that they want a rematch against King Cuerno. Dario laughs in her face, saying that, I hate you. You tried to take over my company and now you want to ask a favor of me? You're fucking stupid. Katrina says, well, what if we make it a death match? And Dario says, I hate you, but you know just what to say. They got a death match at Ultima Lucha. We'll go over the card in a second. Next, we had one of the best matches of the night. In fact, I preferred this match. This was the best match of the night for me. It was Dragon Azteca Jr. versus Prince Puma, in a sort of preview to see what you're going to get at Ultima Lucha Dos, because the storyline here is that Azteca Jr. and he's escorted to the ring by Rey Mysterio, by the way, who is a fucking god in Lucha Underground. This guy is super revered, and he is being trained by Rey in storyline to try to take over Dario and all the, evil corruption in the temple, in the Fight Temple, and he's still not ready. He's still a rookie as far as, the whole temple is concerned in the company. And Prince Puma is going to have a match with him, and this whole match is... Prince Puma is a hometown hero at Boyle Heights, because that's where they filmed the show. And Puma is normally super over with 100% of the crowd. Tonight he had a 50-50 reaction, not for boos or anything, but Dragon Azteca was just as over in this match, which is a good thing, because they really want to build Azteca as, the next big guy, I feel like. So you had Puma and Azteca put on a fucking clinic as far as lucha and wrestling is concerned. Both guys are incredibly smooth in the ring. Dragon Azteca just isn't as built as all the other guys, so that's what's going to hold him back for a lot of people, because he doesn't have this, muscular look, but he can, A, work on that if he needs to, and B, he doesn't need it necessarily, because, again, this is all about character, blah, blah, blah. I'll get into it. Puma and Azteca go, I believe it was 15 minutes, and they had the whole fucking crowd behind them. This is awesome chants. Holy shit chants. The match ends with Puma hitting his patented 630 splash with an awesome standing recovery. He rolls and then he just pops himself right up standing straight at Rey Mysterio. It was fucking awesome. Pins Azteca Jr. 1, 2, 3. Pats Rey Mysterio on the shoulder after Rey gets in to check on Azteca. And That sets up for Prince Puma and Rey Mysterio's match, which is El Rey versus the Prince, the Dream match, and it's going to be fucking amazing. Then you had Dario Cueto come out to discuss a unique opportunity between 4 luchadors in the company. These 4 guys, you had Son of Havoc, you had Cage, Mac, and Tejano out, and Dario says that they're going to be competing in a match that is the most unique opportunity in Lucha Underground, and it's called 4 Unique Opportunity. So then they go over the card, and the full card for Ultima Lucha Dos is as follows. They're going to have the dream match between Prince Puma and El Rey Mysterio. El Rey Mysterio, fuckhead. You're going to have the Trios Championships on the line between PJ Black, Johnny Mundo, and Jack Evans, the champions, against Phoenix, Drago, and Aerostar. That storyline is the former 3 that I mentioned, the champions. They've been sort of the classic heels, low-blowing people, low-blowing Drago and Aerostar and all these guys for weeks, and cheap-shotting them and just not being good champions. Drago, Aerostar, and Phoenix are going to put aside their differences and take these guys out. They used to be rivals with each other, and now they're, this superhero team. The story with Prince Puma and Rey before, I totally missed it. These guys are just trying to see who's the best. It's Prince Puma, who's the face of Lucha Underground, former Lucha Underground champion. Rey Mysterio, former world champion everywhere, former fucking current god of Lucha. And these 2 are going to have a match at Ultima Lucha Dos. No explanation needed. Then you had King Cuerno and Mil Muertes. King Cuerno tried to claim the body of Mil Muertes as his own because he lost a coffin match, so King Cuerno thinks that he caught the ultimate prey. Mil Muertes is like, nah, bitch, you fucked up. They're going to have a death match. Awesome. Then you have Taya versus Ivelisse, who is the baddest bitch in Lucha Underground. Then the Aztec Medallion match. This is the first time it's ever been on Ultima Lucha. The 7 competitors in the match are going to be Marty the Moth, his in-character sister, Mariposa, Sexy Star. You're going to have Killshot, Sinestro de la Muerte. And then they're going to have a 7th person, but in the segments that we've seen backstage, last week you saw a guy wearing a Black Panther luchador outfit. The name, I'm fucking brain farting on the name right now, but I'll say it next time. What the Aztec Medallion match is, there are 7 medallions. Each member who wins a medallion gets put into the match. So there are 7 medallions, 7 competitors. And the match is basically a 7-way match where the winner gets a belt. This belt is called the Gift of the Gods. So it's the Gift of the Gods match, excuse me, I fucked up. You're going to have all 7 of these competitors go at it, and the winner gets this belt that will give them the opportunity to challenge the World Heavyweight Champion of Lucha Underground, the Lucha Underground Champion, whenever they want. So it's basically Money in the Bank. And they do this often, so it's not just once a year. After that, you have the main event, Pentagon Jr. versus the Heavyweight Champion of Lucha Underground, Monster Matanza Cueto. The story here is that Pentagon has been chasing the Lucha Underground Championship for a while and has been screwed out of it. He has failed to get it, and this time he thinks that it's finally time to get it back, and he's going to beat Matanza, who had broken his back about a month ago. The story here is that Pentagon is just going to try to get it done. I don't know what's going to happen at Ultima Lucha Dos, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So the main event was Phoenix and Johnny Mundo. For these 2 being in Lucha Underground since its inception, these 2 never had a match one-on-one. They've had matches with each other and in tag matches, but they never had a one-on-one match. So Mundo comes out with Taya, Phoenix comes out by himself. Really good match, really good match, and it ends in bullshit when Taya and the members of Johnny's tag team come out to fuck up Phoenix. Then Phoenix's partners come out after Mundo gets the win. Everything goes to shit and chaos, and it looks awesome. They all fuck up Taya after they clear out the tag team, and it was a really interesting way to build up for Ultima Lucha Dos. I think it's going to be a really good Ultima Lucha, and I would give both shows, I don't think I rated either of them yet, I'm going to give NXT a 8 out of 10, because it was a lot of character development that wasn't wasted. There wasn't, meaningless promos or meaningless segments. Then Lucha Underground, I will give a 7.5 out of 10, just because the first match was pretty good. but I think Cuerno and Mil Muertes can do a lot better, and they will do a lot better. That's really it. I mean, I would have given NXT a little bit higher if I'd seen Ty Dillinger at all. I'm interested to see what they're doing with him. And other than that, that's my WESSLIN review, guys. Let me know what you guys thought of NXT and Lucha if you watched it. See you soon. Like, subscribe, suck, love you.